Right around 3 months ago, I made a video about a day in my life at George Mason University. And I showed you guys a lot of what campus looked like. This is what it looks like today. Since the pandemic, a lot has changed in terms of my college experience, and I wanted to talk about it. So starting off with the changes to my campus, everyone, as you can probably guess, was forced to move off campus and leave the dorms on campus unless it was truly necessary that they stay. So by this point, campus pretty much looks like a ghost town, and I decided to drive to campus myself to see what has changed and how it looks like now, with the safety of wearing a mask and social distancing, of course. All right, let's go to campus.
How do you think it's gonna look like?
Empty and sad. One thing I noticed was how much progress has been made with the construction on campus. If you're a Mason student, you know how much construction has been going on, so it's nice to finally see some results. So not only has the campus changed a lot during this time, I think that my classes have had the biggest hit. Every single one of my classes, every single one of George Mason's students' classes were all moved to online. So basically, most of my professors had virtual lectures, but some of my professors just uploaded PowerPoints online for us to read and teach ourselves. So in these online lectures, I would basically sit at my desk for over an hour at a time, just listening to my professor speak, and I would take notes. It was not really very different from normal lectures. There was, I don't know, the energy just felt the same. It didn't feel very different. I was just sitting, staring at my professor, not really paying attention. I will be honest, in the beginning of all of this, in the beginning of all of classes being moved to online, to virtual lectures, a lot of my professors did struggle. A lot of times my professors would be late to class or just have technical difficulties, which would cause them to be either late or cancel class. In and of itself, class should have started by now, but my professor is late, so. And it was kind of frustrating because I've sat in a class for 25-30 minutes waiting for the professor to fix whatever's happening just for them to say,
"Class is canceled today."
Which was very frustrating and wasted my time. But after a very short period of time, all of my professors that were doing the virtual online lectures got the hang of it really fast and really quickly, made it very seamless, and there weren't really any more problems. It was probably after like the second or third week to where things started just picking up as normal and not trying to fix any technical difficulties or problems or answering questions or having to get IT help, all that stuff. And like I said, these online lectures really weren't that bad. It was just very similar to a normal class because I would just sit and stare at my professor lecturing anyways, and I just did it through my laptop. I mean, you don't sort of get that connection with your classmates. There are like chat boxes and stuff where people, would ask questions or make comments, but personally, it wasn't terrible. And after this, I can totally see why colleges would make more classes online. It's just a lot easier, I feel like, for the students and the professors, especially for people who live far away and commute to campus, because the school that I go to, a lot of people say it's a commuter school because a lot of people come from a bunch of different areas and just go home instead of living on campus. And another one of the big things that happened in terms of classes was the grading. Because of the pandemic, my school gave the option for students to request that their grades be pass, fail. So basically, if you don't do very well in the class, but you still pass, you can choose to either do the A through F scale, which like has a GPA number associated to it. A is a 4.0, B is a 3.0, yada yada yada. But if you did poorly in a class, let's say you got like a C, which is a 2.0, then your GPA will go down. But if you don't want that to happen, you can opt now for pass fail. That C just turns into a pass, where it has no effect on your GPA, but you still get credit for the class, if that makes sense at all. It was kind of confusing to me at first. I still don't really know how it works. Luckily, I didn't have to use pass-fail for any of my classes, but this was a big stress reliever for a lot of students because this transition from going to totally in class on campus to at home at your own pace, I can see how it would totally be hard for people, and I was struggling for a while. I'll talk about that, but it's just very nice that a lot of universities, including mine, were very compassionate about this and knew that a lot of students would be struggling at this time, so having a way for them to get credit for their classes without it ruining their GPA, because GPAs are very easy to ruin and go down, might I tell you. So the next thing that has really changed for me in terms of my college experience during this time of the pandemic and being at home was my motivation. So I will be totally honest, since being at home, I have completely lost any sort of motivation that I once had during the semester. When I was at school, I was very motivated to do my work. I really set a routine for myself of, you know, going to class, coming back, doing my homework, going to the gym, just being very productive, and had very strict schedules for my day. But because my classes were online and I didn't have to go to them because my teachers weren't holding lectures, I no longer had a reason to wake up early and get my day started early. So basically I've just been sleeping in every day until like 10 or 11 in the morning, and it's not good. I've become lazy, and I admit that, and I accept that. Like I said, I was really in the routine of going to the library and studying and getting my homework done on a regular basis, and now that I can't go to the library and I have to do all of my studying at home, at my desk, at home, with all of the noise from my family and all the distractions that are just in my room on my desk, I just could not study and did not have the motivation to study or just do my homework. So I slacked off a lot, but luckily it wasn't enough to have an impact on my grades. It was more just procrastinating too much and then being stressed when I had 50,000 things to do in one night that were all due the next day. It's just that I just had no sort of schedule in my day and no sort of routine or like schedule, like I said, and it was just very hard to get myself to do things because I would just push it off to a later date, and I didn't want to do those things because I felt like since being at home I was on a break. I felt like I've just been on a really long winter break ever since the pandemic, and I haven't really felt like I am in school mode. I feel like I'm in break mode, if that makes any sense, because right before the pandemic we were on spring break and I haven't been on campus since then. So I felt like I've just been on like a 3-month spring break, which has not been good for my motivation. So guys, that was how the pandemic has affected my college. I kind of just wanted to explain sort of how my life has been, how my college experience has been since the pandemic, because it's changed a lot. I've done all my classes from home. I have only been working from home, and I thought since I make a lot of college videos, I would sort of share with you guys sort of how my life is like now. But the semester is over. I am officially a senior in college, which is very scary to say. But here we are, we're making the most of it. I'm trying the best as I can. I will say that this time has not been easy in terms of school and motivation, but like I said, I pushed through it. Although I procrastinated quite a bit, I am done. But I thought that I would tell you guys how college has been like for me and how much my college experience has changed in these few months that I have been home. So I really hope you guys like this video. If you are new or you just haven't already, I would really appreciate it if you would. Give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, as well as follow all the social media links down below. I know it's been a while since I've posted, but I'm back and school is over, so hopefully I have more time to make videos for you guys. So I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.